What's going on, everybody? It's PJ here with the CRNA Drip, and today we're going to go over the 6 steps to get you into CRNA school. So let's get into it. So number 1, you need to have your BSN from an accredited program with a solid GPA. And the best way to get a good GPA is to keep a good GPA. Make sure you take care of your important classes while you're in your undergrad career. You can alternatively get your ADN, and while you're working in the ICU, you can go back and get your BSN, and the hospital may even pay for it, so it may be a cheaper route for some people. Number 2, you need at least 1 year in an ICU, preferably a level 1 trauma center, because the level of acuity is much higher than a community hospital or a level 2 or level 3 trauma center. ICU experience can be anywhere. I'm not one to say which ICU is better than another, as long as you get some high acuity patients and you learn how to critically think and you learn how to deal with stressful environments. I think that's what really is important for your ICU experience. So for me, I was in the surgical ICU. I've worked in the CV ICU for a little bit, neuro ICU, medical ICU as a traveler. And all of the experience goes back to one component: is, are you getting that high level of care? Are you seeing the highest and the sickest patients possible? Whatever sticks out to you, whether you like cardiovascular or neuro, I don't know why anybody would like neuro. Just make sure you get 1 year in a good ICU. Be careful with the more specialized ICUs like NICU, PICU. Some schools are a little bit touchy about those ICUs for experience. So make sure that you look up what your particular school that you're applying for accepts as ICU experience. No ER, no PACU, no IR, no IMC, no tele. None of those are gonna fly. So it has to be ICU. Next, shadow experience. You have to shadow a CRNA. 1, because it is a requirement for most schools, and 2, you need to find out if this is what you want to do. There's a lot of time and money and stress that goes into being a CRNA. So you want to make sure that you're making the best decision for yourself. So I would advise shadowing at your hospital that you're currently at, or maybe if you have a mentor that practices outside of a hospital, shadow them to see what they do and if it fits your personality, if it is something that you can see yourself doing for the rest of your working career. Number 4, apply. You have to apply. You cannot get hung up on, I want this to be a little bit better first, or I think I need to get this first. If you have the minimums and your GPA is decent, meaning over 3.0, apply. So many times I talk to people and they have so many excuses for why they haven't submitted an application yet. If you have everything, submit, and submit early, okay? And like I said in my other video, my dean taught me this: the worst they can say is no. You have to just put yourself in the position to get a yes first before you worry about anything else. So just apply, apply, apply. And by apply early, I mean once the application is opening, you should be getting ready to submit, okay? So you can always look on the website and figure out what the school needs, what kind of recommendations they require, what the personal statement topic is, and you can work on those things, gathering your transcripts, and get everything ready to submit. So when they say, okay, blah, blah, blah university, our application is opening today, you're ready to turn everything in and press submit, okay? Because some schools are not waiting for the deadline to pass before they start offering interviews. They're looking at so many applications that it would take forever if they waited for the actual deadline to start reviewing applications. So by the time you say, okay, the deadline is today, I'm gonna submit, they've already filled up 20 of the 30 interview slots. So make sure that you put yourself in the best position to get an interview by applying early. And once you get the interview, you have to ace it. Prepare in great depth for your interview, do your homework, and I'm going to make a video specifically on the interview process, but just know it takes a lot of prep for the interview. It's very intense. You're going to be nervous on top of that, so you want to make sure that you're prepared as best as you can be for the interview. Once you get accepted, woo! Thank you very much. You have to prepare for school. So once you get accepted, you need to look back and say, okay, I need to get myself together financially, personally. I need to save money. I need to clear up this bad credit. I need to pay off these loans. Those are the things you need to think about once you get accepted into CRNA school. So, for example, if you have any student loans from your undergrad experience that are in default, you need to get them out of default. Call your loan officers and figure out what options they have, be it loan consolidation or the loan rehab program where you can get your loans out of default. Because if they're in default, you're not able to borrow any money from private loans, federal loans, FAFSA, nothing. You can't get any money if you have loans in student default. And the loan rehab program and the loan consolidation program, they offer different options and they have different effects on your credit once you complete each program. So make sure you really do some investigation on what will fit you best. Pay off as much debt as you can, be it your car note, credit card debt, whatever you have, medical collections, whatever you have, pay off as much as you can. If you plan on applying for the Grad Plus loan, you need to make sure that you have no more than $2,000 in collections, no adverse credit, so no repossessions, no foreclosures, no bankruptcies, or anything like that, or you do not qualify for the loan without a qualified co-signer. So if you do have a repossession on your credit, or you lost a house before, or you went bankrupt for whatever reason, I don't know, people do things for different reasons, you're not going to be eligible to get the Grad Plus loan on your own. You need a co-signer with no adverse credit to co-sign for you. Next, invest in some new technology for school. And this is like the fun part. I got a new iPad, I got a new computer, I have a new camera. I'm just living it up. So take the time to invest in some good quality gear. I recommend Apple because the programs that you'll use on your computer while you're in school, Apple will definitely handle all the stresses and CPU and GPU and X, Y, and Z. It can handle all of that. So I recommend Apple. But there are some Windows products that I don't know anything about, but I'm sure that they work somewhat well compared to Apple. And next, prepare your family and friends for this journey because they need to be on board as much as possible. They can't be fighting for your attention with school. They need to understand that this comes first and this is top priority. So if you have any strains on your relationships, you might want to take that into consideration, whether you nip it in the bud or come to agreement. Your family, if you are the breadwinner for your family or you're taking care of family or siblings, you may need to figure out what is going to be the best option for you once you go to school. And then take some vacations. Take some time out for yourself. I have 2 vacations planned and I'm gonna take the whole month of December off and start in January. So take some self-care time, whether it's doing whatever you love to do, recording, working out, fishing. I'm gonna do a lot of fishing in December. Yeah, just make sure you do what you love because once school starts, you're going to be going full force. It's going to take over your life and you won't have as much time to do those things. So self-care is very important. So those are the 6 steps to getting into CRNA school and getting ready for CRNA school. I hope that this information was helpful. If you have any questions or anything that you want to add to this list, put it down below in the comments. I'll be sure to like the comments, reply, and make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on your post notifications every Sunday. New content is coming up on the blog. So with that being said, I'm out.